mateys, welcome to Sea of Thieves. This is Damron with Trash Ass Gamers, and in this video we're going to be covering all of the skeleton thrones. There's 5 group thrones and 5 single thrones, and working towards the commendations and titles Hero of Thrones and Master of Thrones in Sea of Thieves. So let's get started. The first one, we're going to do the large thrones first, which requires you and another crew to sit in the throne. So not someone on your team, it has to be another crew from a different ship. The first one's going to be at Shipwreck Bay, and you don't actually have to shoot yourself to this one. There's a path up here in the rocks that you can take, and then you can sword lunge down to the throne right here. And keep in mind that you do need to be seated in the throne for it to count. You'll see the skeletons kind of glow a little bit when that happens. And again, for these large thrones, you need someone from a different ship, aka a different crew, to be with you. Number 2 is Plunder Outpost. You can see we're kind of on the eastern portion of Plunder Outpost. And if we look up to the rocks, you'll see it kind of nestled away in between the crevice there. So line up your shot and get yourself up there, and let's get throne number 2. Alright, the large throne number 3 is going to be at Cannon Cove. This is a very easy one to hit because you just have to land basically in the middle of this large rock in the middle of the island, which is a very large surface for you to land on, so you shouldn't really have any difficulty making it up there. Once you land onto this, you'll see the throne right in the middle, kind of down one level.
Speaking English.
Alright, now the next one, 4 of 5. This is going to be a little northwest of Smugglers Bay in the northwestern portion of the map, kind of at D2/D3, and you're looking for this particular rock formation right here. And on the back side of it, the northwest side of it, you're going to see the throne nestled away right in the dark corner of this rock.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Alright, moving on to the 5th and final large throne. This one's in Marauder's Arch, and this is by far the most difficult throne to land on. It's going to be on the southernmost tip of Marauder's Arch. If you look up, it's going to be kind of on that tip of that rock just beneath that tree. And there's really not a lot of surface area to land on other than the chair itself. So you really want to angle your cannon almost straight up to where you're coming down onto the throne. And this is going to take quite a few shots to get, but this is kind of how you want to do it. If you try to shoot yourself out of it, most likely you're going to bounce off the rock and stuff like that. So you really want to come really high arcing and to land on it. And then once you land on it, you can enjoy watching your teammates fly by you several times before they actually join you. But nonetheless, keep trying, and eventually you and your team will be able to get up on that rock. It is a very difficult shot, probably the most difficult throne to land on. So finally get up there, and that'll be the final of the large thrones. And now we'll be moving on to the small thrones, and the small thrones don't require a crew. You can do these by yourself. So let's get started with the first of the small thrones, which is going to be at an Uncharted location, specifically K9. And you're going to come to an island that's kind of split in half, and you're looking for that little shipwreck up there. Dive down into the water just beneath that shipwreck and go all the way through this tunnel. It is going to lead you to a small little cove, and in there will be our first small throne.
Sir?
All right, next up for the small thrones is 2 of 5. Here we go, Hidden Spring Keep. Hidden Spring Keep's kind of on the western portion of the map, kind of middle, and you have to get to the very top of the keep. And the top of the keep, you can't be reached by walking up there. You'll actually need to take a cannon. I think it's easier to use the actual fort tower here, because one of the cannons is really aimed right at it and it won't sway with your boat, right? It'll kind of maintain its left and right and up and down as you're changing it. So you can really use it to make this jump a little easier. All right, next up, 3 of 5. This is going to take us to Mermaid's Hideaway. You can see we're kind of parking the boat on the northeastern portion of Mermaid's Hideaway. And we're actually looking to the southern side of Mermaid's Hideaway. You'll see this kind of pillar of rocks kind of isolated, and the throne's going to be up on top of it. So, again, practice your shot. It'll take you a few to land up there, but once we do, that one will be out of the way. All right, and for 4 of 5 of the small thrones is going to take us to Thieves Haven. We're going to go on the eastern side of Thieves Haven, and this one's really easy. It's not actually on the main island. It's a small rock off the eastern coast of Thieves Haven, and you're going to see the throne kind of sitting right here on this rock by itself. All right, and on to our final small throne and our final throne in general. This is going to take us to Devil's Ridge. On the northwestern kind of portion of Devil's Ridge, you're going to see essentially a little alcove. To the left is some grass that you can get up onto, and just above that, you'll see this rock kind of jutting out. And we actually need to shoot ourselves into that crevice between the top rock and the middle rock, and we'll walk around for the final skeleton throne. So take a seat in that, and you'll have all the commendations in the Skeleton Thrones portion of the Bilge Rats section in your reputation. And also, more importantly, we'll get our Hero of Thrones title for getting all the small thrones, and we'll also get the Master of Thrones for getting all 10 thrones, which is, really an ideal time to do this, considering we're in the final season of Game of Thrones. So I thought, what better time than to get in all these thrones. So you'll have all the commendations. I hope you guys find that got helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. This is kind of a new channel. It's just a hobby. Do have a full-time job and other things, so I don't crank out content all the time. But if you like our stuff, feel free to like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you on the seas.